In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversations and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section, with special directions for each part. Answer all the questions on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers you hear. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers on the computer screen and choose the best answer. Then, click on the answer you have chosen. Listen to an example.
That exam was just awful.
Oh, it could have been worse.
What does the woman mean? On the computer screen, you read A. The exam was really awful. B. It was the worst exam she had ever seen. C. It couldn't have been more difficult. D. It wasn't that hard. You learn from the conversation that the man thought the exam was very difficult and that the woman disagreed with the man. The best answer to the question, "What does the woman mean?" is D. It wasn't that hard. Therefore, the correct choice is D.
I'm a bit disappointed with this year's basketball team.
Me too.
Number 1. What does the man mean?
Aren't you going on a trip today?
Yes, I am. In fact, I'll be leaving in just a few minutes.
Number 2. What does the woman mean?
How did it go in the physics lab? Did you have any problems?
Not really. The lab assistant gave us very detailed instructions to follow while we were conducting the experiment.
Number 3. What does the woman mean?
This project has me mystified. I'm just not sure what to do next.
Did you read over the instructions that we were given?
Yes, I did. I read through them a number of times, but they just didn't seem at all useful.
Number 4. What does the man say about the instructions?
I don't have my credit card with me. Do you think the store will accept a check from out of state?
As long as you have appropriate identification, I'm sure it will be fine.
Number 5. What will the man probably do next?
Oh no, I have a problem.
What's the matter?
I brought the blue notebook with me instead of the red one, and the information I need is in the one I don't have with me.
Number 6. What does the woman have with her?
I can't believe that the requirements have changed, and now we have to take 3 semesters of chemistry instead of 2.
It isn't a problem for me.
Number 7. How does the man feel about the situation?
Do you know what time the lecture is supposed to begin? I want to get there in plenty of time so that I don't miss a word of it.
It begins at 3 o'clock, doesn't it?
Number 8. What can be inferred from the woman's response?
What's wrong with Judy?
She thinks you're upset with her.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
Number 9. What does the man mean?
So, how do you like the great outdoors? The mountains, the forest, the running brook?
I'd like it better if these mosquitoes weren't chewing me to bits.
Number 10. What does the man mean?
What kinds of questions do you think will be on the exam?
I've heard that this professor gives lots of long essay questions.
If there are a lot of essay questions, then I'm not going to have an easy time of it.
Number 11. What does the man say about the exam?
I know you're going to be out of town for a few days. Is there anything I can do to help?
If you could, I'd appreciate it if you would look after my fish. Really, all you have to do is feed them twice a day.
Number 12. What does the woman ask the man to do?
Why don't you sit on the sofa and read the paper there? You'd be far more comfortable on the sofa.
But the light by the sofa is too dim for reading.
Number 13. What does the man mean?
How is the research coming for your thesis? You should almost be finished collecting your data by now.
Unfortunately, I lost most of the data when the computer system went down.
Number 14. What does the man mean?
I'm going to change my major. This major is too hard for me.
It's common to feel this way when you start out. Why don't you wait a little while and see how things go before you make such a big decision?
Number 15. What does the man suggest?
Are you going to be studying for the biology exam tonight? Maybe you'd like to study with me.
I would. After all, 2 heads are better than 1.
Number 16. What does the woman mean?
I don't think there's any way to get this done without asking the professor a few questions.
Neither do I. Maybe we should go and see if he's in his office.
Number 17. What does the woman mean?
Are you going to take the evening section of American history next semester?
I don't think I can. I have a part-time job in the late afternoons, and I'm seldom able to finish work in time to get to a 7 o'clock course.
Number 18. What has the man decided?
Maybe we should leave an extra half-hour early just to be sure we beat the rush hour traffic. I really don't want to be late to the airport.
There's seldom heavy traffic that early in the morning. I think leaving at 6 gives us plenty of time.
Number 19. What does the man imply?
I can't wait until finals are over.
Have you been studying much for your finals?
I've been studying so much that I can't fit anything more in my brain.
Number 20. What does the woman mean?
Tom submitted the application without filling out the back.
I'm sure he must have overlooked it, or he wouldn't have turned it in that way.
Number 21. What does the man say about Tom?
We'll miss you on the ski trip. Are you sure you can't make it?
If only I didn't have this term paper to finish.
Number 22. What can be inferred about the woman?
I need directions to get to Kent's house. I don't want to get lost.
So you can make it to the party after all.
Number 23. What had the woman assumed about the man?
We have to find the mistake in this accounting problem before we can turn it in.
We've got 20 pages of information and calculations. I don't even know where to begin searching for the mistake.
It is a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Number 24. What does the woman mean?
Those 2 hours certainly went by quickly. Did you get finished with all of those questions?
Barely. I was writing non-stop for 2 hours. Did you finish?
I wish I'd had about 30 minutes more. I needed it to finish.
Number 25. What can be inferred about the man?
There's just too much noise on this floor of the library. It's too hard to get work done.
I can't tolerate the noise any longer either. Why don't we try a different spot in the library?
Number 26. What does the woman say about the noise?
I'm thinking of enrolling in Dr. Patterson's seminar next semester, and I understand that you already took this seminar with Dr. Patterson. What did you think of it?
I did take it, and I couldn't recommend it more enthusiastically.
Number 27. What does the man mean?
I'm not sure if this issue is worth any of your time, but it is important to me.
The issue that you're raising is not insubstantial.
Number 28. What does the woman mean?
You really need to work hard for the final exam. If you get a grade of 75 or better on the exam, then you'll be able to pass the course.
You mean I can still pass the course?
Number 29. What had the man assumed?
I'm not sure exactly how to perform the next step in this experiment.
Me neither, but if Jimmy were here, he'd know what to do.
Number 30. What does the woman say about Jimmy? Part B. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers on the computer screen and choose the best answer. Then click on the answer you have chosen. Questions 31 through 34. Listen to a conversation between 2 friends. The conversation is about a parade.
Do you want to go with me to a parade this weekend?
A parade? Where's the parade?
The parade is on Main Street.
Oh, so it's not far away from here.
No, in fact, it's rather close, just a few blocks away. We can even walk there, which is a good idea. It would be too difficult to find a place to park if we drove.
Walking sounds good to me. Now, tell me, why is there a parade this weekend? It's not some sort of holiday, is it?
Well, it's not a national holiday, but it is a local holiday of sorts. It's Founders' Day. There's a parade this weekend to celebrate the founding of the town. This year, the town is 149 years old.
The town is 149 years old this year? So next year the town will be celebrating its 150th birthday?
That's right. The Founders' Day celebration this year is going to be rather small, a one-day celebration with a parade, a picnic, and a few speeches. But next year, for its 150th birthday, there's going to be a huge celebration. Plans for next year's celebration are already underway. It's going to be a 3-day celebration instead of the 1-day celebration the town is having this year.
Well, let's go to the parade this year and see what it's like. Then, for next year, We really need to plan ahead to go to all 3 days of the celebration.
That sounds just fine to me.
Number 31. Where is the parade? Number 32. Why is there a parade? Number 33. How old will the town be next year? Number 34. What will the Founders' Day celebration be like this year? Questions 35 through 38. Listen to a conversation between two students. The conversation is about schedule changes.
Do you know if there's still time to change my schedule? I know that classes have already started, but I really need to change one of my courses.
Yes, there's still time to change your class schedule. It's possible to change courses until the end of the first week of classes, so you still have a couple more days to change your classes.
Today's Wednesday of the first week. You mean that I have until Friday to change my classes?
Yes, you'll need to get an add drop form, fill it out, get it signed, and then submit it by 5 o'clock this Friday. Do you know how you want to change your schedule?
Yes, I do. Right now I'm taking the highest level composition class, and it's too hard. I need to take the lower level course.
Who's the professor of the higher level composition course?
It's Professor Grant.
And do you know who's teaching the lower level composition course?
Professor Grant is also teaching that course.
So the same professor is teaching both courses. That makes it easy. All you need to do is get an add drop form from the office and get it signed by Professor Grant. Usually you have to get signatures from 2 different professors, but because the same professor is teaching the course you want to drop and the course you want to add, you just have to see one professor.
And I have 2 more days to get the form, get the signatures, and then turn the signed form in at the office.
Exactly.
Number 35. When does this conversation take place? Number 36. What does the student need to do? Number 37. What does the woman say about the composition courses? Number 38. Who is teaching the composition courses? Part C. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear several talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers on the computer screen and choose the best answer. Then click on the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. Listen to an instructor talk to his class about painting.
Artist Grant Wood was a guiding force in the school of painting known as American Regionalist, a style reflecting the distinctive characteristics of art from rural areas of the United States. Wood began drawing animals on the family farm at the age of 3, and when he was 38, one of his paintings received a remarkable amount of public notice and acclaim. This painting, called American Gothic, is a starkly simple depiction of a serious couple staring directly out at the viewer.
Now listen to a sample question. What style of painting is known as American Regionalist? On the computer screen, you read A. Art from America's inner cities. B. Art from the central region of the United States. C. Art from various urban areas in the United States. D. Art from rural sections of America. The best answer to the question, what style of painting is known as American Regionalist, is D. Art from rural sections of America. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Questions 39 through 42. Listen to a talk by a professor in a music appreciation course. In this talk, the professor is explaining a course requirement.
One of the requirements in this music appreciation course is that you attend a number of concerts and write critiques of those concerts. Specifically, you're required to attend 10 concerts during this semester and write 10 critiques. I've listed 6 concerts that you must attend on the course syllabus. Each of you in this class is required to attend all 6 of these concerts and, of course, write critiques of them. You must also choose 4 other concerts, attend those concerts, and write critiques of them. These 4 concerts can be any concerts that you choose. Now, let me explain what I mean by a critique. A critique is a review that highlights both the strengths and weaknesses of the concert. When I ask for a critique, I do not mean that you should focus only on criticisms or weaknesses. By the way, you may also attend more than 10 concerts for extra credit. You'll receive extra credit points if you attend more than 10 concerts and write a critique for each of the extra concerts.
Number 39. What is the assignment? Number 40. What does the professor say about the concerts? Number 41. What should the students do in the critiques? Number 42. What will happen if the students write 12 critiques? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to a lecture by a professor in an astronomy course. The lecture is on the rotation of the Earth.
The topic for today is the Earth and its rotation. Even though you can't feel it, the Earth is constantly spinning around on its axis, which passes through the North and South poles. A day is the amount of time it takes for the Earth to make one complete turn on its axis. An interesting point I'd like you to note about the rotation of the Earth on its axis is that this rotation, or spin, is very gradually slowing down. The Earth of today isn't spinning as fast on its axis as it was in the past. Scientists have determined that around 400 million years ago, a year was around 400 days long, around 35 days longer than the 365-day year of today. There were more days in a year because the Earth was spinning faster around its axis. Thus, the days were shorter, and it took more of these shorter days for the Earth to complete its yearly rotation around the Sun. This slow decrease in the rotation of the Earth on its axis is of course expected to continue, and thus the number of days in a year should continue to decrease as the rotation of the Earth on its axis decreases. However, you have little to worry about yourselves from this. You may have noted that this decrease in the spin of the Earth on its axis and the resulting decrease in the number of days in a year have taken place over a period of 400 million years, or less than one day every 10 million years. So, yes, this decrease in the speed of rotation of the Earth on its axis is expected to continue. But unless you're planning to be around for the next 10 million years, which is the amount of time it would take for the number of days in the year to decrease by one day from 365 to 364, you probably won't notice it.
Number 43. What point does the professor make about the rotation of the Earth? Number 44. How long ago was a year approximately 400 days in length? Number 45. What is expected to happen in the future? Number 46. How long will it take for the number of days in a year to decrease by one day? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to a talk by a school advisor. The talk is on summer institutes.
I'm here to give you information on the summer institutes at this university. The summer institutes are 6-week intensive programs in which you can earn 8 university credits. They are for students who want to immerse themselves in a single subject for one 6-week period of time. They are residential programs. This means that students in a particular program must live in the university dormitories. The students in a particular Summer Institute program spend their days together in class. There are 7 hours a day of class. Have meals together, work on projects together in the evening, and then stay in the university dormitories. It's definitely an intense experience, but it's also a very good way to immerse oneself completely in a particular subject. The subjects selected for the Summer Institutes are subjects that lend themselves to intensive study. This summer, there are 3 different Summer Institutes: the Summer Institute in French, the Summer Institute in Journalism, and the Summer Institute in Opera. Students involved in the Summer Institute in French will spend all day learning and practicing French. All courses are taught in French, and students sign a contract at the beginning of the Summer Institute agreeing to speak and write only in French during the entire Summer Institute. This means that in class and out, all communication will be in French. Students involved in the Summer Institute in Journalism will immerse themselves in the study of journalism for 6 weeks. During this 6-week program, students will spend all of their time learning about the field of journalism and creating a newspaper. Students will be involved in all aspects of the production of the newspaper, from researching and reporting to manufacturing and distributing the final product. Students taking the Summer Institute in Opera will, of course, devote themselves completely to opera for 6 weeks, and the end result will be a performance of a number of scenes from different operas. Students will be involved in every aspect of the production of the opera, including performance, staging, costuming, and marketing. Now, do you have any questions for me about the Summer Institutes?
Number 47. What does the advisor say about the Summer Institutes? Number 48. What is not offered as a Summer Institute? Number 49. What does the advisor say about the Summer Institute in French? Number 50. What does the advisor say about the Summer Institute in Opera?